Beautiful evening and happy new year. What a great year that we are witnessing. It's been quite a time on this class. Apologies for coming in late. I'm super excited about we are back to personal leadership that leads to corporate leadership that helps you leading people in any space of your life. And in this corner, what is important to us is ability to find clarity so that we can first of all experiment leadership by leading ourselves. I mean, you are the best factory, you are the best lab with which to experiment all your leadership. Thank you again, everybody joining. Mazi, thank you. Abigail, thank you for joining. I love leadership, and here we are. We are also been doing a leadership conference in where I am in Accra, and it's all about leadership. I happens to be with an Anglican chief today. We took a photograph, Bishop, and we all agree that everything that happened, whether it's in church, whether it's in personal life, whether it's in a family, whether it's in a country, whether it's in a state, will be leadership. And that's why I'm so interested about leadership. And the leadership I'm interested is the leadership that starting from you and you lead yourself. I don't want to lead people if in a certain way, whether it's a spirituality, whether it's a finance, whether it's to their purpose, whether it's relationship, whether it's parenting, whether it's financial breakthrough, whatever it is. I want to be able to see that I have experienced these leadership on my own, and I'm flourishing, I'm thriving on it. I've experimented it. I have the keys, I have the mental structure, I have the mental idea, I have the ideology in order to communicate live. I don't want to communicate theory. I want to be able to speak my story that everybody will know, yes, it's authentic. Yes, I read a lot. Every time you see me, I'm reading. If I'm not sleeping, if I'm not doing anything, I'm reading. So I tap into other leaders. I read leadership book. I attend leadership conference. I am one right away. And it's exciting when I get into that true self. So today we are back into our leadership series. I want you to open up your heart. I want you to open up your mind so that we can learn from each other. I know we're all talking, but this year we're going to do something differently. If you have any question, please drop it on the comment. Our John, thank you for joining in. Favor, thank you for coming in. Wendy, thank you for joining in. I want us to be practical about our leadership. I belong to Leadership Forum in Africa, whether it's Half Africa, whether it's John Maxwell, Equip Africa, which is part of what we're just doing in the whole of West Africa. So I was around nine countries in West Africa that were gathered together, and we're all talking about leadership. But I like to talk leadership about leading myself. So I have a leader that supervises me as a self. So if you can't lead yourself into betterment, it's likely you can't lead other people. Your mind likely going to force them by theory. So life is not theory only. Life is a practical sense. And so we'll be able to talk about leadership where I have led myself, where I was in 1,000. Now probably I am in 100,000. Maybe I moved from 100,000 to maybe 1 million. maybe from a million to like like multiple millions. So if I'm talking step by step. I'm talking from an embodiment. I'm talking from the practical essence of it. I'm talking from insight. I'm talking from challenge. I will tell you about challenge, how I came out from that challenge. Not just about coming to babuse you, oh, I've done that. If I'm talking that I had judgment issue, like judgmental, I want to be able to teach you how I stop being judgmental and move from judgmental to radical acceptance. And I will show you the step and the struggle I had, the meditation, the prayer, the all that and all that. I want to be able to do that. And if I have successfully done it, it means it's possible. So this is a place of where we do practical leadership training. And I'm about to, I'm not afraid to expose all my secret, if there's anything like secret, because I want people to live a life of freedom, a life of abundance, a life of progression, a life of satisfaction, a life that is contented, a life of clarity where you are thriving as a person. Honestly, I'm thriving. And I'm not saying in terms of pride, but in humble, but I'm thriving in my spirituality. So I have this 8 line of life that I measure myself. The first thing I do is, how do I know myself? Who is me? Like on a daily basis, I'm discovering myself. I mean, external validation doesn't define me any longer. I'm so excited about how my life is unfolding, unpacking on a daily basis. So I'm beginning to understand me more. So that's your identity. Then your identity cover like your value system, your purpose in life, your mission. When I ask people, which is where we're going to draw today, I want us to do life well. And you see, there's a way to do life. There's a way to not to do life. And the more I practice, the more I unlock secrets or keys or principles or truth, the more my life is lighter. Today, something happened. I've learned how to not to force appointment, but to be really patient, but make my. Today, I got a call from or a chat from a particular top personality that I've been looking up to see. And today, I got a chat from that person. The person chatted me up and said, "Can we meet by this one?" I just quickly said, "Oh, I'm really sorry. Thank you for the opportunity. I'm not in town. Can we discuss?" And even the way the conversation went, because I wasn't pursuing that person like I used to pursue people, personality, and I got upset, I'm anxious. No, I made my intention streaming from who I am. And today, that person I'm not looking for him. He's looking for me. So for me, it's a progress. That's what I'm thinking about. That's what I'm talking about. How have you elevated your life from your identity to your belief system? Belief system is also one fundamental area we don't cross-check, we don't examine to even check. What are my belief system in finance? What are my belief system in relationship? What's my belief system in money? What's my belief system in parenting? What's my belief system in XYZ? Because those things are central. So if I have identity, I have my belief system, and I have my relationship. Relationship interconnectedness is everything. In fact, it's so everything. How do you connect with people when you go to hotel? How do you connect to people when you go to school? How do you tap into their uniqueness? First and foremost, there are 3 levels of relationship. Your relationship with the divine, which is your God, or whatever you called him, and it's your source. Yeah. What is your relationship between that source and yourself? How do you tap into that relationship? Is it growing? Then utilizing the attributes, the experiences that you get from your source, the embodiment, and begin to serve the outside. For instance, honestly, I realized that my source the nature of my source is love and goodness. Oh my God. And it means that who I am is love and goodness, because I'm experiencing a profound divine love which gives me some level of assurance that he will never leave me nor forsake me. I mean, I had an experience, two days ago, and the way I responded to the issue and the people involved, and they're looking at me, I was smiling, I was unperturbed, I was unharmed, I was untouched, I was not crushed, there was no anxiety, and they were looking at me, I was laughing, and they were asking me, why are you laughing? My source said, let nothing terrify you, let nothing cause you to be afraid of. You see, he will help me, and I have nothing to do about it, and honestly, he helped me. I didn't break my head. Everything was a divine comfort, because he has what they call divine kindness. He has what they call divine mercy that suspends judgment and clothed all that. So you see, the more I relate to that, and the same thing, the same way I serve people from the place of divine love. I serve people from the place of divine respect. I serve people unafraid. I hug people, like I relate with people from the concept of my source, which I'm experiencing, like unconditional love. That is like he embraces me, and that's how I embrace people, really. And sometimes people think you're weak, you're not weak. Now, so that's how I endeavor to treat people, to see people, and treat people that way. Then when you move from your identity, move to your belief, you got to define your relationship, you move into your duty. What is your responsibility? I learned that from Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs have his responsibility. He understand that his life, to survive in life, there are two ways to survive in life. There's what we call sovereign grace, which everybody is in. You wake up, the sun will shine at you, the mess is scattered, but there's what they call the activated grace. Activated grace is a personal decision where you find your responsibility. My life, I am responsible to what happens to me. When people say they are suffering, it's a responsibility that is causing your suffering. Oh, I'm angry, it's your responsibility. I'm dissatisfied, that's your responsibility. Oh, I'm rejected, that's your responsibility. Nobody can reject me. I am too valuable. I will find one thing, even when you hate me, I will find how I become valuable, because my estimation will determine my feelings, will determine my outcome. So your duty is so important, whether it's across board. It's once you embrace your duty, that's also there's a growth about duty. I have a duty for my village. I have a duty for my family, my extended family, my nucleus family, my friends' family. I know my duty. You don't need to force me. So recognizing my duty, and they keep expanding. Whether my duty, when I go into conferences like this, I know my duty, I know my state, I'm not struggling. So when you move from your duty, we talk about your finance. I love to talk about finance. I work in the bank. I read a whole lot about finance. I develop finance mechanisms. I know how to attract money. I know joke. Maybe one day I will talk about money attraction. I know how to like I can literally make a living in the desert. It's not like one of those talk. Of course, some of you know my stories. Like, I am so confident to make money. So you talk about your finance. We'll deal with all these parts, so we begin to understand that. I also talk after you talk about your spirituality. You see, our major constraint in life, honestly, is that we focus on one part of our life, which is our personality, and we call it the ego self. The ego self is limited, is anchored, is defensive, is wanting. But you see, when you begin to understand your spiritual nature, which is your divine self, there's no lack in divinity. There's no illness in divinity. There's no suffering in divinity. There's such insight and wisdom that governs you, that life flows, not forced. So we'll talk about that spirituality of your life. Then you talk about your health, what to eat, how to drink, about your personal hygiene and all that. You talk about your community. A lot of us belong to too many communities that we don't contribute. It's draining us. And we have not found our nucleus, our balance in that place. So finally, the last one, which is the ninth one, it's what we call your reversal gratitude. Reversal gratitude is where, how something happened. Maybe you're disappointed. Okay, let me give you a instance. In your hub of friends or family, everybody depends on you. So they place demand on you. The flood of demand on you could upset you. Now, do a reversal of that. What if you're the one asking? So are you not happy that they are asking you? You see, that's what reversal gratitude. It really helped and shaped how I changed my entire life. So today, we're going to focus on truly, I'm almost talking about this. I talked about it in where I am in the West African Conference today. A lot of people came to me, and said, wow, we have not started. It's important to go back, like this is our first leadership. If you can lead yourself from yourself, you become a natural leader. And so we'll be talking about your true self. There's a true self, there's a false self. We want to be able to unlock that true self. So that your I am. Because you see, most times we are externally triggered or challenged. I use this example, how you get into a space. And in that space is intimidating. You say, I'm intimidated. What happened is that you have left your true self and moving into your false self. Your false self is determined by external events. They are triggered. They are the stimulants of external events. No. But you see, when you find your true self, you can define every event from your true self, not from the event defining you. How do you define your world?